Hi everyone, welcome to the How to Craft Network studio. My name is Toni and this is the home of Stamps by me. In today's video, I'm going to be showcasing how to create the most magical, haunting cards. And this is our Creep It Real collection, and it's a stamp collection, which is what we love the most, as you all know. And we're going to have a bit of fun playing around with some ink. But if you don't like to play around with ink, guess what? I've totally got you covered. I've got some inky backgrounds in paper form, so you can cut it out if you want to. So today I'm going to do two quick demonstrations, one with ink, one with paper. You decide, or if you like both, you can get them both. I would get them both because they are absolutely fabulous. So let me show you our Creep It Real collection. Absolutely trick or treat bootylicious, shall we say? Look at this. Boo sentiments, trick or treat, keep it real. Woohoo! So these are our fabulous silhouette stamps that are going to create a magical, mystical feel. And a lot of these elements on here are going to build in with your fairy collections and all of the other lovely products that we've brought to you here. Now, so these are A5 stamp sets, okay? So they're big stamp sets, but the sizes fit beautifully on A2 cards, okay? So you get both of these collections. You get the wonderful sentiment collection, and you also get the Moonlight lovely stencil as well, which is going to enable you to create mesmerizing scenes, light effects if you want to, stamp in the aperture, just do some circular techniques if you want to, and you're going to be able to create some delightful cards that are going to look like this. I mean, come on, how cute. Absolutely gorgeous. So you can use those stamped elements. Now, if you are brand new to our reflection collection, basically we have our stamps that have the inbuilt reflection. So you don't have to do the technique is built into the stamp. So you have to just stamp the top and the bottom will look after itself, okay? Just stamp it in black and your cards are gonna look like these. So totally storytellers in my opinion. Look at this, all of them out trick-or-treating of the evening. And you're going to be able to build them in with the rest of your stash, and both sets interchange as well. It's not a choice of you get them both anyway, but it's just to show you that the sets work beautifully across them both. So you're going to be able to create beautiful, magical cards. I mean, look at this. I take a moment to appreciate this. Do I need to say anything else? Trick or treat. That is a card. That is a card and a half. That is not going to go in the bin. People are going to keep these cards forever. Now, you see these beautiful papers in the background? Yes, we also have papers. So this is the wonderful stamp collection, and this is the Creep It Real stamp collection with the stencil and the words, but we also have a complementing paper pack. Now, let me show you the paper pack. So if you do not want to create the backgrounds and play around with colour, we have this fabulous watercolour book here, which is a ton, 75 sheets here, guys, of sort of magical backgrounds, aurora borealis skies, stars, foliage, starry night skies. And then as we go towards the back here, you'll see that we have the ombres. So you're going to be able to create the ombre effect. Rather than picking up a brush and some ink and doing the stenciling, you have the ombres, you have the solids. Then down by the base here, we have all of those lovely creative scenes where all you're going to have to do is stamp one of those stamps on one of these pieces of paper and you have instant cards. And I'm not joking, beautiful instant cards, might I say. So shall we get into some demonstrations, because I bet you're all like, get on with it, want to see what you can make. So I'm going to be using the stamps from the Creep It Real stamp set, but if you want to get the papers as well, please do so, because I honestly do not think these are going to be around for long. Let's move some of these lovely samples. I've got to show you this sample. How cool is that? And this is the papers in the background, the lovely lady, which that's in the collection too. Gifts, gift bags, treats, absolutely cool. Right, let's just move these that way. Let's stop getting too giddy. Right. First of all, let's do a card that doesn't use the paper. So if you like to get a little bit more technique based and like to get a little bit dirty with your craft, with inks and things like that, you can do this card. But if you have no time and you need a quick card, then the papers are going to have you covered as well. So I'm going to do both in this show. So first of all, let's do the stamps. So piece of white cardstock here, and then let's bring in our stamps. So I'm going to be using this totally awesome sort of foliage frame here. Really, really wonderful. I'm going to be using my wonderful stencil too. to create a lovely sort of moon in the centre, and I'm going to use the little cluster of boys and girls, which is just right here, to stamp in the centre too. So this is just a piece of white cardstock here, guys. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my stencil and I'm going to take that moon. The great thing about this is you have the inner and the outer, so you can create apertures. I'm going to show you how cool this is actually in a second. So I'm just going to pop this onto my card here. And I think I'm going to go purples, a bit like this actually. Purples, pinksy colours. So let's just bring in an ink pad here and a brush. So let's just pop, so I've got my aperture just in the centre there. And I'm just going to pop my ink onto the stencil, and then I'm just going to slightly brush off, creating that lovely hue around the circle. So I'm going to twist it with my hand, twist, twist, twist. I'm not going to go too dark. I just want you to see all of this wonderful detail when I come to do the stamping. So that is a little bit of purple. So all the way around. And when you move it, there you go, you can see it straight away. So I'm just going to pop it back on because I would like a little bit of pink in here too. Now you can tape this with some low tack tape in the centre if you want to. I just like to hold it with my hand. So a little bit of pink too. So again, tap off the ink onto the stencil and then just add a hue of pink all the way around. Make it a little bit more intense maybe at the top and the bottom. I'm not doing anything that you don't already do at home here. You just have the cool kit to do it with today. So there we have our lovely sort of atmospheric moon in there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the exterior of the stencil, and I'm going to pop the exterior on, and I'm going to pop a lovely colour inside. So I'm just going to swap out my brush. I'm just going to get rid of that for now. Now your stencils do wipe clean. They just wash under a tap. Super easy to clean. And I'm going to go, let's go yellow in the centre of this one. So just pop that on there, and then I'm just going to add a nice hue of yellow all the way around first. Just soft. And then I'm going to do half in a darker colour, because that's what's going to sort of like make my little boys and girls stand proud. So darker at the top. So just halfway. And this is just going to make it look a little bit more creative just by adding highs and lows with our ink. And now we have our lovely moon with that lovely texture at the top. Just going to make it a little bit darker. I might add a touch of orange. And this is the fun part about stencils and stamps. You can add and play until your heart is absolutely content. Play around with the colour. It's only a piece of card. You can have so much fun with a piece of card, a little bit of ink and a couple of stamps. So I've just add that little bit of orange, not much, there we go. That's better. So all I'm going to do now, quite simply, is I'm just going to move the stencil out of the way, and I'm going to grab this wonderful sort of aperture frame. This is like the moody, the misty evening where you can see all the berries and branches and things like that and creeping in. So I'm just going to grab my mat here. I'm just going to pop it onto my mat. And I'm just going to stamp this around the exterior of our beautiful moon. So black ink here. Now you can use your embossing. You could use a grayscale ink pad, white on black card. Wow. So lots of ink on there. I'm just going to stamp this one down. Now I don't think it really matters which way we do it. Let's have a look. Shall we go this way? Let's go this way. So I'm just going to pop this up at the top here of my card, and I'm going to have that moon just protruding through. And stamp this one down. Get all of that lovely detail, because it really has a ton of detail, but it's so worth it. Get it stamped down. And now we have, look at that. Now, that looks real. Totally awesome. So let's just move that across. So now we need to get our boys and girls on there, our reflective boys and girls. Now, when you use these reflection stamps, the bottom part is slightly distorted on the stamp. So the one that looks like it's a bit jaded and a bit freckly, that's the one that's a reflection. But honestly, if you stamp it the wrong way, it's not a great shake. There isn't much difference, enough to get a reflection look, but not enough that people would point out that you've done it wrong. So don't worry about that. So now what I want to do is I want to put the guys in this lovely circle aperture here, but I don't want them to sit on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring back in my stencil, I'm going to pop it on top, and I'm going to stamp in that window. So the boys and girls are only in the moon area. And I'm just going to take my black ink pad. Now, if you have white highlighter pens and gel pens to, add a little highlight to the boys and girls to make it look like the moon is reflecting on them, that looks cool as well. So I'm just going to take my boys and girls, just going to pop my stencil. You don't have to do this technique, but I think it looks really effective when they just stay within that circle aperture. So I'm going to pop the girls and I'm going to try and get on that line where we did that differentiation in colour there. So let's try. They actually fit within that circle beautifully anyway. So let's pop these down. And when you remove, look at that, storytelling on a whole new level in four simple stages. A little bit of ink, stenciling, stamping, and we are literally good to go. Now I'm just going to take this one off my mat here, and I'm just going to swap it. Let's just pull this one out here so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to take one of the sentiments. Now we have a ton of cool sentiments on here as well. Have a magical Halloween, happy haunting, wishing you a happy Halloween, which way to the candy, that's a good one, trick or treat. Let's just do trick or treat here. So I'll just grab this one. Let's just see if I've got a smaller block here to stamp with. Here we go. So I'm just going to stamp trick or treat just underneath. Like so. And then, do you know what we could do? We could take some of these small bats here and we could just decorate that little bit of white space. You could add these bats into the foliage. But let's pop a little bat down here. Let's pop one up here. And there we go. What do we think about that? Totally cool. Hey guys, I hope you like that one. Really, really easy. So that is using the stamp set with a little bit of ink if you have the courage to do so. But we also have that wonderful paper collection. So if you do not want to mess around with colour, you're going to get these looks put on pre-printed paper. Now the paper is uncoated, okay? Which means you can emboss, you can heat emboss, you can stamp, you can paint, you can gesso. It's a wonderful, wonderful quality paper with lots of different designs. So you can see here the boys and girls stamped on the reflection here, the whole window, the aperture that you could create a moon. Absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to do a second demonstration now using these papers with the stamps as well to show you that no matter how you feel, what mood you're in, quick card, fast card, interactive card, it's totally, totally doable. Now I have a white card here. Now this one's a fast one. Now let's just show you this one. So I've picked, look at this paper here. We don't have to tell anybody that we've taken out of a paper pad, do we now? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take that lovely stencil, because this is really important in this set, and I'm going to pop it up the top here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a white ink pad, and I'm going to grab a blending brush, and I'm just going to add a halo around my moon. So it looks like I've got a moon going on. So again, just going to blend it out. And this is going to give you a subtle, subtle finish here, guys. Subtle. See now? We have our wonderful moon. Now, if you grab the exterior stencil, which is this wonderful one here, if you pop it on top, but sort of stay away from the centre, you can also add a little bit of a glow to the centre of the circle. So I'm concentrating more in the centre here and then going out, out, out. And this is what's just going to soften that moon area. So I'm not going too close to my edge, I'm concentrating in the centre, and then look what happens. Look how you get that beautiful moon, is that not just wonderful? And then just blend it out. And then you have your, I mean, now it's creative, isn't it? And I could just blend that out a little bit more maybe. Oh, these are the papers, okay? How cool is that? So then we could take our wonderful boy and girl stamp again, pop this onto the block. Oops, daisy, let me just pick that one up. And again, boy and girl in. And again, black ink. Get lots of black ink on there, we like a nice dark image. And then I'm just going to take the boys and girls down by the base here where the water is. Maybe we would get a touch of a reflection there. Now you could do it off to the edge, in the middle, it doesn't really matter. You can repeat the design as well, so you have a ton of kids. Let's just press this one down here. You ready? Speechless. Are you all speechless? Is that not just the most amazing thing in 2 short steps? Totally awesome, isn't it, guys? Now, I've just got a gel pen here. Now, if you have the confidence to go in with a gel pen, it really will help and aid with that reflection. So I'm just going to take my white gel pen and add a little bit of a highlight to the tops of everything, because that moon would give that highlight. So to the top of that little can, the top of his head maybe. Let me just make sure this works. Just pull that ink through. There we go. And then, there we go. And then you can just create a little bit. It just gives your card a little bit more interest, because it will look quite, well, I don't think it does look flat, do you? I don't think it does, but there we go. Around his head. On the top of the can, on the top of his arm. And this white gel pen always dries back a little bit lighter, so if you put it on, you think, oh, it's a little bit harsh. I didn't want it that dark. So on the top of everything, best you can. Arms. And then you get the most beautiful scene, like so. And then if you just pop this straight onto a card, black or white, and then a sentiment, wishing you a happy Halloween, you have what looks like quite an awesome card. And this is the card with the papers, without the papers. Here's one just in the yellows, if you wanted to. Have a play around. I hope you've enjoyed that demonstration. It is that easy, I promise you. Once you get these home and have a play, you will be addicted. They are totally, totally awesome. And they are a stamp set that keeps on giving, interchanging, mixing the papers, just use the stamps. And then it encourages them to also get your inks and play out with all the medias you have in your craft stash as well. I'm really excited about this collection. It's where I live, where I breathe is stamping, and this is no different today. And it's Halloween, which is our first, so I hope you enjoy the collection. I can't wait to see your makes. And whatever you're doing, just have a great, creative Halloween day. I'll see you all later. Bye.